3FM 92.7. This news is coming to you live from our studios here at Adesawe Kanda, and also come to you live on KESMI 107.1 FM in Tamale. Coming up this morning, legal team of the former finance minister Kenneth Ofori-Atta welcomes the release of their client from the ICE detention.
For now, he's been released from custody and is rejoined with his daughter.
Also, the National Association of Sachet and Packaged Waters Producers reverses the earlier decision to increase sachet water prices.
After listening to her and considering the fact that sachet water is a basic necessity for over 33 million Ghanaians.
And also in this bulletin, the shortage of family planning materials looms as over $500,000 worth of supplies still stuck at the port. Details of our headlines and other stories, please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Now we want to a first story where Frank Davis, a member of the legal team for the former finance minister Kenneth Ofori-Atta, says his comment comes as the former minister was released from detention by the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, that's ICE, following a judicial order issued on April 7, 2026. A press release from his legal representative in Ghana, Menka Perno Osai Bonsu, Bruce Catlin and partners, confirmed that Kenneth Ofori-Atta has since returned home and is currently with his family.
For now, he's been released from custody and is rejoined with his daughter. Well, the ICE hearing and the proceedings in the ICE court stand separate and distinct from the extradition request. The ICE matter is a purely administrative immigration matter. He had applied for an adjustment of his immigration status. So ICE proceedings or hearings have nothing in common with the extradition request. The extradition request, so far as I can understand, thus far, is supposed to be pending.
Was Frank Davis. He's a member of the legal team for the former finance minister Kenneth Ofori-Atta. Meanwhile, private legal practitioner Martin Pebu says the fact that he has been released is a bad sign for the Ghanaian case.
Let's go back a bit. He was first picked by ICE, and then ICE has now released him. But whilst he was in ICE custody, the extradition papers and all that were sent to the judge. Remember the first sitting also, if it's not the first, the second, where the judge says, okay, he hasn't seen the extradition documents, so they should be brought to his attention. So subsequently it was done. So now, with the immigration judge seeing the extradition proceedings, and still releasing Ofori-Atta, and at the same time, the fact that the extradition people, that's the Justice Department, did not cause the immediate arrest of Ofori-Atta, that presents a very complex case.
Private legal practitioner Martin Pebu. Now, away from that, the National Association of Sachet and Packaged Waters Producers has agreed to maintain the current price of sachet water at 8 cedis per bag for ex-factory price. This follows a crucial meeting with the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry. The decision comes after an early announcement of a possible price increase that raised concerns among consumers. My colleague Grace Hamwa Ajaman sat through the meeting last night and reports.
So it's been a long day here at the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, with the meeting going into 4 hours and beyond. The area of conversation was an announcement by the sachet water packagers and producers that they intend to increase the price of a bag of sachet water as a result of shortage of their polymers. The association makes a case that a ton of polymer, which sold at $920, is now selling at $1,200. But after conversations and discussion with the minister, the group says the old price of sachet water remains. President of the association, Eboboche, says that the association will absorb any cost that is coming out of the decision, but will ask government for some interventions to stay afloat.
After listening to her and considering the fact that sachet water is a basic necessity for over 33 million Ghanaians, yes, we are losing money if we go back to the old price, but then for the fact that we love Ghana and Ghana must thrive, we've decided to absorb the shock and keep the old prices for at least a month or two, and we expect that it will trickle down to the sachet water producers as well.
The Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosu-Ejari, assured the group of government supports and interventions even as they find a way around the situation.
Because the economy has been stable for a while, we think that they have been cushioned. So it is good time for the industry to also cushion Ghanaians. They have agreed to do that so that we continue to enjoy the stability that we have in the system.
That was a report from my colleague Grace Hamajman, where the National Association of Sachet and Packaged Water Producers have agreed to maintain the current price of sachet water at 8 cedis per bag. Now, commercial transport operators of Ghana have rejected the ban on the Toyota Voxy for commercial purposes. This is after the Technical Working Committee of the National Road Safety Authority declared the use of the vehicle for commercial purposes as illegal, citing safety concerns linked to their design and widespread modification in Ghana.
Following the public uproar over the number of crashes involving Voxy vehicles, the National Road Safety Authority set up a committee to look into the issue. On Wednesday, April 8, the committee presented its final report, in which it described the situation as a major threat to passenger safety. Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Ibrahim Amaliba, called for an immediate halt to their importation.
We see the Voxy crisscrossing the length and breadth of this country. We are also being told that the ties are not for the purposes that the vehicle is being used in Ghana. It's unlawful. So when we are able to get the customs to stop the importation, then it cures that one.
Chairman of the Toyota Voxy Technical Working Group, Godwin Kafui Ayeto, said the vehicles were not meant for commercial use and that system failure worsened the problem.
Right from the point of entry, there were systemic failures. They shouldn't have been registered, they were registered. Privately registered vehicles should not have been plying the route for commercial purposes. They are applying the route for commercial purposes. There are no standards to regulate them. Nobody has raised alarm on issues. They are prevalently involved in accidents, especially in the Bono region.
Before we go, let's do some health stories. The Ghana CSO's platform on SDGs are raising alarm over a critical shortage of family planning supplies in the country, following the stock of essential family planning commodities valued at $500,000 at the port of entry since August 2024. At a media briefing, the group warned that the further displays at the country's port could put the lives of 1,000 women at risk. They revealed that the supplies procured by the United Nations Population Fund and coincided to the Ministry of Health have yet to be cleared, even as the stock levels across national and regional medical stores continue to decline. The commodities include contraceptive pills, implants, injectables, condoms, and medical instruments. And that brings us to the end of the first half of this morning's bulletin. For more news, please check our website at 3news.com. I am ENYONAM HALIGAH. Michael Opadu comes your way with business.